Hello everyone, welcome back to the next episode. As they sit down, Taehyung leaned forward on the table, chattering animatedly with Jake. Taehyung, so Jake, what do you do? Minno, never give me the details, Jake. I'm a photographer. I travel a lot for work, but I love it. What about you? What keeps you busy apart from driving your Bodyguard? Crazy Taehyung burst out laughing, his cheeks heating up. Taehyung, well, you are not wrong about that. I guess you could say I'm an expert at having fun. Jake laughed aloud. Jungkook, standing in the shadows, crossed his arm, his fingers drumming impatiently against his biceps. He could hear every word, every laugh, and after the meal, Jake and Taehyung moved to the lounge area, chattering comfortably while Minho excused himself to give them space. Jake, you are even more fun than I expected, Taehyung. I would love to take you out sometime, maybe when you are not stuck at home. Taehyung, I would love that, but you might have to fight Jungkook for me. He is he has got me on house arrest. Jake glanced at Jungkook. Jake, well, I would say you are in good hands. Your bodyguard seems protective. Taehyung, protective, more like a grumpy shadow that wouldn't leave me alone. Jungkook shuddered, and as Taehyung laughed again, completely unaware as the evening wound down, and Jake said his goodbye. Taehyung walked him to the door, thanking him for coming. Taehyung, good. Tonight was fun. Let's do it again soon. Jake, definitely. Take care. Taehyung. Taehyung turned back towards the living room, a tiny smile on his face. Jungkook's voice calm but his breath still. Jungkook, are you finished? No. Taehyung jumped slightly. Startled. Taehyung, geez, Jungkook, don't sneak up on me like that. Jungkook didn't respond as he turned and walked away. Taehyung frowned, confused by the sudden coldness in the room that night. Jungkook sat on the edge of the bed, his mind racing. He couldn't ignore it anymore. He didn't want to see Taehyung with anyone else. Days turned into weeks, and Jake became a regular presence in Taehyung's life. He often stopped by the mansion, bringing small gifts, making Taehyung laugh with his story, and occasionally stay for dinner. Taehyung enjoyed the company. Completely obvious, Jungkook, however, wasn't fooled. He had been observing Jake closely every time he came over. His overly charming smile and the way he seemed a little too interested in Taehyung's wealth and connection seems something about Jake was didn't sit right with him. One evening after Jake had left, Taehyung was in the living room scrolling through his phone with a satisfied smile on his face. Taehyung, what now? Did I forget to turn off the lights or something? Jungkook crossed his arms. Jungkook, it's not. It's about Jake. Taehyung frowned. Taehyung, what about him? Jungkook, I don't trust him. Taehyung, blink, catch off guard. Taehyung, what? Why? Jungkook shouted, and as he stepped closer, Jungkook, the way he talks, the way he acts, it's not genuine. It's not here for. He's not here for you. Taehyung, he is here for what you have. He is using you. Taehyung's mouth fell open, so quickly giving way to anger. Taehyung, you don't even know him. Jake is sweet and funny, and he actually enjoys spending time with me. Why can't you just let me be happy for once? Jungkook's eyes flushed with frustration. Jungkook, because you are too innocent to see the truth. You think everyone has good intentions, but the world doesn't work like that. Not everyone is as innocent as you are. Taehyung. Oh, so now I'm stupid because I trust people. Maybe I would rather be stupid than live my life like you, constantly suspicious of everyone. Taehyung, Jungkook's expression hardened. Jungkook, you are testing my words. Taehyung, no, I'm not. You just can't stand seeing me happy, can you? You are miserable, so you want everyone else to be miserable too. Well, guess what, Jungkook? I don't need your approval, and I don't need your protection. Jake makes me happy and there is nothing you can do about it. Jungkook stood there in silence, his hand clenching at the side as Taehyung stormed past him and up the stairs. The sound of Taehyung's door slamming echoes through the house, leaving Jungkook alone. Taehyung threw himself on the bed, but moving his face in the pillow, his chest heaved with the mix of anger and frustration. Jungkook sat in the room, replaying the argument in his head. He hated the idea of Jake getting closer to Taehyung. He leaned back in his chair, rubbing a hand over his face. He couldn't deny the truth anymore. He cared about Taehyung more than he should, but what could he do? Taehyung clearly didn't see him the way Jungkook exhaled heavily. He staring out came the window at the dark sky. Jungkook, I need to figure out how to keep him safe, even if it means he hates me for it. Taehyung had been spending more time with Jake, his seeming perfect date, and Jungkook had quietly observed from that shadow. Something wasn't right. The investigation led him an uncomfortable conclusion. Jake wasn't just some harmless cousin of Minu. He was a former convict, a man with a criminal record that stretched back years. It was clear now Jake wasn't just a casual visitor in Taehyung's life. He had an agenda. Jungkook couldn't just stand by and watch Taehyung fall deeper into whatever trap Jake was setting up. That afternoon, Jungkook arrived at the mansion after another day of surveillance. To find the place quiet, Taehyung was nowhere in sight, and neither was Jake. He walked through the mansion. Jungkook reached the living room when his phone buzzed in the pocket. A call from the colleagues at the police station. Officer Jungkook, there has been a tip-off. We have intent that Jake is involved in something big. He is hiding something and it's dangerous. We are moving in to search the permission. Get Taehyung out of there. It's too risky. Jungkook's heart raced. Taehyung was still inside. He reached the door and knocked gently. No response. His breath quickened. With no time to waste, he pushed the door open, finding Taehyung lounging casually on the bed, a book in his hand. Jake was there too, sitting across from him. Taehyung, oh, hey, Jungkook, didn't expect you to show up. Jake and I were just hanging out. Jungkook didn't answer him. Taehyung's face lighted up with a smile as he saw Jungkook. But Jungkook wasn't smiling. His gaze flickered to Jake before Jungkook could act. The front door crashed open, followed by the sounds of siren. Police vehicles surrounded the mansion. Jake stood up swiftly, his hands moved back in his bag. Taehyung froze, the confusion clear in his eyes as Jake pulled out a knife pointing it at Jungkook. Jake, stay back. Jungkook, I will hurt him if you take a move. Jungkook's heart stopped. Taehyung, Jake, what are you doing? What is this? Jake, this is your fault, kid. You are the one who has been messing up my plans. I didn't want it to come to this, but you are not living here. None of you are. Jungkook remained completely still. He knew he couldn't move too quickly or Jake might act out of fear. His only option was to keep Taehyung calm and stop. Jungkook, Jake, you don't want to do this. Put the knife down. There is nowhere to run. You are surrounded. Jake, you think you can stop me? You are nothing but a bodyguard. Jungkook, this isn't about you. Taehyung, still confused and rattled, took a small step back, keeping his eyes on Jake. He couldn't process what was happening, but something inside him told him this wasn't just a pretty conflict. This was dangerous. Taehyung, Jungkook, what's going on? What's happening? Jungkook's eyes never left Jake as he spoke to Taehyung, trying to remain calm despite the overwhelming tension in the room. Jungkook, Taehyung, listen to me. Jake isn't who he says he is. He is a criminal. He has been using you, Taehyung. No, he can't. That can't be true. Jake is my friend. Jungkook could see the doubt in Taehyung's eyes. But now was not the time to explanations. Jungkook needed Taehyung to trust him, to understand what was at stake. Jake, seeing the distraction, Jungkook, Taehyung, get behind me. Trust me, I will protect you. Taehyung hesitated. His eyes flickered between Jungkook and Jake, but Taehyung didn't move, not yet. His trust in Jungkook was growing, but there was still a part of him that couldn't fully accept the truth. Just as Jake took a step forward, Jungkook moved in one swift motion. He launched towards Jake, knocking the knife out of his hand. He pinned Jake to the ground, disarming him, and within moments the police officer flooded into the room, securing Jake and taking him into custody. Taehyung, still in shock, stumbled backward. His hands trembled. His eyes met Jungkook's. He saw something there. This wasn't just duty. Jungkook, it's over. Taehyung, you are safe now. Taehyung turned to Jungkook, his eyes still filled with confusion and lingering gratitude. Jungkook was still his bodyguard, mood controlled and composed, but Taehyung couldn't ignore the softness in his gaze now, something he hasn't seen before. Taehyung, Jungkook, I don't want you to tell my dad, please. I will never get involved with someone like that again, I swear. Jungkook's expression remained cold, but he knew Jungkook had every reason to report everything to his father. But Taehyung's surprise, Jungkook simply nodded, his jaw tightened slightly. Jungkook, I wouldn't tell your father. The words hit Taehyung like a wave of relief. He hadn't expected this, not after everything. He had expected Jungkook to lecture him, to call his father and tell him everything, but Jungkook had chosen to respect Taehyung's wishes. Taehyung's heart skipped a beat, and for a moment, Taehyung, thank you, Jungkook. Jungkook didn't say anything at first. He simply looked at Taehyung. The silence between them was comfortable. Taehyung realized that Jungkook wasn't just his protector. He was someone Taehyung had to rely on, someone he could trust in ways he hadn't expected. Jungkook, just don't make a habit of it. Taehyung, you are already tested my patience more than once. Taehyung smiled. He reached out, nudging Jungkook lightly, and with his elbow, a playful glint in his eyes. Taehyung, I will try not to get myself into trouble again, but no promises, okay? Jungkook shot him a glance. Taehyung could see the flicker of something deeper. It was the kind of look that spoke volume without needed words. Taehyung's heart gave a small lunge. Ensure this meant for them, for their relationship. Jungkook had melted as the evening went on. Taehyung couldn't stop thinking about how Jungkook had chosen to protect him in a way that went beyond his duty. He was someone who cared in his own quiet way, and that realization, it seems, was enough to make Taehyung's heart race once more. The soothing session had resumed, and for Taehyung, they were just another way to push Jungkook's buttons. Despite being rebellious as ever, Taehyung seems to enjoy the lessons, treating him like adventure, but for Jungkook, each passing day felt more like a test of his own restraint. They were in the practice range set up in the backyard of Taehyung's mansion. His messy hair and wide grin made him look like he had woken up from a long nap. Yet somehow to Jungkook he was utterly distracting. Jungkook held the weapon steady. Taehyung stopped waving it and around like a toy. Taehyung pouted. Taehyung, I am holding it steady. It's just slippery. Jungkook sighed, stepping behind Taehyung to adjust his grip. His hands closed over Taehyung's smaller ones, steadying them on the weapon. The faint accent of Taehyung's shampoo drifted up, and Jungkook's heart escaped a beat. Jungkook focused. Taehyung, you are is all wrong. Taehyung, being obvious, leaned back slightly, letting Jungkook guide him. Taehyung, you know, you are kinda good at this, even though about becoming a teacher. Jungkook stiffened but didn't reply. But all he could think about was how close Taehyung was, how easy it would be to lose control. Taehyung turned his head slightly to glance at Jungkook. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief. Taehyung, why are you always so serious? Jungkook smiled a little. Jungkook stepping back, abruptly putting distance between them. Jungkook just take the shot. Taehyung rolled his eyes but away. The shot hit the target, though not as accurate as Jungkook would have liked. Taehyung, see, not bad. For a beginner, Jungkook didn't respond. Jungkook sat in his quarters, running a hand through his hair. Taehyung's rebelliousness was one thing, but his innocence, his cuteness, and his tendency to sneak into Jungkook's thoughts. Taehyung had shown up in another ridiculous outfit. Jungkook stared at him. Jungkook, you're not seriously going to practice in that. Taehyung, why not? It's comfy. Jungkook pinched in the bridge of his nose, muttering something under his breath about professionalism. But when Taehyung tripped over his own feet and let out a yelp, Jungkook was by his side in an instant, steadying him before he hit the ground. Jungkook, be careful. His voice was firm, but his hands lingered just a moment too long on Taehyung's shoulder. Taehyung looked at him, up at him, his eyes wide. Taehyung, see, you do care about me. Jungkook let out a quickly, stepping back as if burnt. Jungkook, I care about keeping you alive. That's my job. But even as he said the words, Jungkook knew he wasn't entirely true. It was a particularly dreaded evening when Taehyung decided to crash onto Jungkook's quiet world. Again, he brushed into the kitchen where Jungkook was reviewing security footage, wearing an oversized bear hoodie that practically swallowing him whole. His face was light up with excitement as he carried a tray of cookies he had clearly attempted to bake himself. Taehyung, Jungkook, look, I made cookies. Jungkook looked up, his brows frowned at the sight of Taehyung's flour-dusted face and the tray of hotly shaped cookies. Jungkook, that those look burnt. Taehyung, they are not burnt. They are just caramelized. Here, try one. Before Jungkook could protest, Taehyung shoved the cookie into his hand. Taehyung took a bite. Jungkook took a bite. It was overly sweet and slightly uncooked, but Taehyung's expectant gaze made it impossible to criticize. Jungkook, it's eatable. Taehyung, I knew you would love it. Jungkook's heart escaped a bit at Taehyung's smile. He quickly drew his gaze, focusing back on the laptop. Jungkook, don't you have anything better to do than bothering me? Taehyung, nope. You are way more fun to annoy than the guards. Besides, I like hanging out with you. The Jungkook, help me. This thing is stuck again. Jungkook is stupidity in his hands brushing against Taehyung as he fixed the issue. The proximity made Jungkook pause. Quicken, Jungkook there. It's done. Pay attention next time, Taehyung. You are such a professionalist. It's kinda cute. Jungkook froze, his ears turning slightly red, but he quickly stepped back. That evening, Taehyung lounged on the couch in the living room, scrolling through his phone while Jungkook stood guarded. Nearby, Taehyung had swapped his usual outfit for his favorite pajamas. Jungkook tried not to look at him, but it was impossible to ignore the way Taehyung absentmindedly hummed a tune, his legs tucked under him, completely dizzy. Yawning, Taehyung, Jungkook, you should relax more. You are always so tense. Jungkook, I'm not here to relax. I'm here to do my job. Taehyung, you are no fun. Jungkook clenched his fist, trying to focus on anything but the sight of Taehyung looking so cozy and cute, and he hated how powerless Taehyung's presence made him feel. Jungkook retreated his own room that night, slamming the door behind him. He paced back and forth, his mind racing. Taehyung had no idea how hard it was for Jungkook to keep his emotions in check. Jungkook, he is reckless, he is stubborn, and he doesn't follow orders. But why does he have to be so He stopped running a hand through his hair in frustration. Taehyung had melted Jungkook. The problem wasn't just Taehyung's cuteness, it was the way he made Jungkook feel alive, the way he challenged Jungkook's rigid control, but Jungkook couldn't give in, not yet. He lay awake that night, imagining of Taehyung in his pajamas, humming softly and smiling, haunted. Jungkook's thoughts to be continued. You think what is gonna happen next? Is Jungkook gonna lose his control? Is he gonna defeated by his feelings? Okay, we will see again in the next episode and find the answers. Hope you will enjoy the episode. Bye bye, love you, bye.